What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Brutal Planet Comics. I'm your host, Dre, the Brew Daniels. Here with some more news. Happy Friday to you all. Oh, Delali, and happy Revenge of the 5th. Yes, we're one day away from, removed from Star Wars Day. I'm so belated. May the 4th be with you. So, with the spirit of Star Wars, we're going to be talking about Star Wars Jedi Survivor. And not only are we just going to be talking about this game in a bit of depth, so there will be spoilers. Let's just get that out of the way. So if you haven't played the game or don't plan on it, you've been warned. But we're going to talk about, was it worth the wait? I was a huge fan of Jedi Fallen Order. I thought it was tremendous, but does this hold up in comparison? So let's jump into some of the stuff I really liked, and we're going to get into some of the stuff that I didn't like very much. So let's go. The action, the sequences, all the saber forms, all the force abilities, absolutely top tier. I dare say it's almost on par with Force Unleashed 2, which is, I love that game too, but the systems with all the 4 different saber types and using the blaster, all these cool things, a lot of cool enemies. And of course, it's still absolutely horrifyingly difficult, which is exactly why I come to play the game, to give me a good challenge. So I enjoyed that aspect. It was really, really good. The bosses are absolutely insane, and I loved it. Like, I died on this Rancor like 40 times. Like, no lie, I got beat so many times, but it forces your brain to find a way to overcome, and that's the type of stuff I love. So for that, the bosses were great. The world building, as far as like the design of all the caves and caverns and cities, it looks lived in. They did an excellent job. I can't praise it high enough for how aesthetically pleasing this game was. So I was a very, very happy panda. The emotional payoffs in this joint, I absolutely loved. Ever since the first game, I was hoping that Cal and Marin would get together, and Cal letting go of the Jedi Order nonsense of no attachment and blah, 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 blah. This was very extended universe-esque, with Luke getting with Mara Jade and all that great stuff. Like, it felt good, and it felt like a payoff. It felt like I always wanted the relationship to work. And to see that they are paying off that for us was really cool. I really liked it. Even the circumstances around it. It was like a mystery and all that other great stuff of like what happened to them in their relationship over the past 5 years since they weren't together and all that other stuff. So this was really, really good. I liked this a lot. Hold up. Also, the battle between Seer and Vader, I thought this was the best boss fight in the game. A lot of my contemporaries have been saying that they didn't really like it very much because it felt like Darth Vader was being nerfed for the sake of the game. I disagree, because if you go and read EU books, there was plenty of Jedi that Vader had hunted down that were on par, that were Jedi Masters, that he had to use certain tricks in order to defeat, because they were Jedi Masters. So I thought this was on par more with EU stuff. I know a lot of my other contemporaries like, oh, she should dominate. But this is a very, very emotional battle, even though narratively it didn't make a whole lot of sense. But I thought it was fun. I thought it was cool. And it hits me in the feels. Like, this entire sequence. I'm not going to give away the entire sequence, but everything that goes on up to this point for this fight is really, really emotional. So they hit me in the feels. So that means they're doing something right, and I am happy with that. Here's the problem. This plot and story is absolutely all over the place. It's a mess. So first we have this idea of getting the band back together with Cal Kestis, and because his current crew gets killed on Coruscant and all that stuff, and he goes back to find Grease and Marin and Seer and getting the band back together. But then it goes off to this tangent of a side quest to find some key MacGuffins for this High Republic stuff. And I've made it clear I don't like any of the High Republic garbage, but they're trying to push that, because it's the Disney thing. and you find this Jedi named Dagon who's been in suspended animation for 200 years in a bacta tank, which made no sense, but he's turned to the dark side, and it's like kind of build him up to be the big bad, but he's not really the big bad, and then you just beat him. It gets messy. It gets really, really messy. And the whole thing is about chasing MacGuffins to go to a planet that no one's been before, that was a temple 200 years ago. It gets really, really, really messy. So when you beat Dagon, you're like, okay, well, if he wasn't the big bad, who's the big bad? The big bad ends up being one of your friends that betrays you. And his reasoning is so ambiguously insane. Like, oh, I want to protect my daughter. So he was a double agent for the Empire, who was a former Jedi, who works for the ISB, I believe that's the term, so that he'll be protected from the Inquisitors, but he's also a triple agent because he doesn't trust them either, so he betrays Cal so he can go to the planet by himself with his daughter. It's just whack. The story is absolutely whack in every way, shape, and form. That's the problem. Like that's the only issue I can say that was glaring with this game, is that the story was hot garbage. That's all I'm saying. Everything else I thought was okay, but this story, and then just ends abruptly. Like you beat him and then story over. Now go explore. I'm like, oh, well, all right then. I guess I better explore. So that aspect, I thought that was not very good. That aspect was really, really tough, and that was a hard pill to swallow, especially taking out from the original, how so much emotional buildup in the original. So ultimately, what do I think about Jedi Survivor? Action-packed, I'm in. Emotional stakes, I'm in. The story was just not good. But does that mean it wasn't worth it? I believe this game was worth the wait. I enjoyed it. I had fun. I'm still going through all the side quests, the bounties, all this. There's a whole bunch of little side things to do. I love collectibles, so I'm going to go through the collectibles and get all the faces, outfits, and all that stuff. But ultimately, I think this game was worth it. If you want to give it a try, go ahead and check it out. So let me know what you guys thought about Jedi Survivor. I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward, hopefully, the third game. Hopefully it tightens up the story. But all those other things that I came for worked out for me. Travel the River Within, the entire series, is available on ne1world.com and the SpinWiz app and spinwiz.com. I would love to have your support. So that's all I really got for today. Follow me on those dope social media platforms you see over there. And do all those great YouTube things. Like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. As always, you guys have been awesome, and I'll catch you all next time. Also, if you want to support my channel, check out spinwiz.com or download the SpinWiz app and check out my comic series, Trouble. It was written with a lot of love, and it was definitely my favorite comic series to write. I've also written it in English and in Spanish, so whatever floats your boat, I got it for you. Thanks again, and check it out.